bringing sustainability into the workplace. But how do you get started? This is the first of a series of videos where I'll go over different focus areas for you to begin greening your team. Today's topic, reducing waste. Let's get started. One of the simplest things you can do is offer recycling to employees. Depending on where you're located, there might be different rules or guidelines on what you can or cannot recycle. There may also be different requirements for what businesses have to recycle. For example, in Portland, businesses are required to recycle paper, metal, plastic, glass, and a couple of other materials. Be sure to check out your area's local guidelines. Want to up your waste management? Offer composting to your employees. Composting is great because it reduces the amount of food waste that ends up in landfills, reducing the amount of methane emissions. It also gives nutrient-rich soil back to the environment. Make sure your employees know what can and cannot go into the recycling and compost bins through education and clear signs. There are a ton of different sites online that have these signs already made. I've linked a couple below to get you started. Want to make recycling more fun? Have a competition between teams or offices to see who can produce the least amount of waste in a week. You may be surprised to learn that there are several hazardous materials in your typical office environment. Things like fluorescent light bulbs, toner, paints, cleaners, solvent. All of these need to be handled and disposed of properly. Look into your local options for hazardous waste disposal and make sure you educate your employees on how to handle and when to dispose of these products. You can also reduce the amount of hazardous material in your office by using green cleaning materials. Look for products that have been certified or approved by organizations like EcoLogo, Green Seal, or Safer Choice. First step in printing, don't. Think before you print. Do I really need a hard copy version of this file? To help reduce your printing needs, move as many processes online as possible. Things like payroll, expense reports, and orientation are pretty easy to start with. Sometimes printing is necessary. When you do, print double-sided. You can set your computer up to choose this option every time you print, so you don't have to think about it. You should also make sure that your printer paper is made out of at least 30% recycled material. It doesn't affect quality and reduces the impacts of deforestation. When setting up printers in your office, use centralized printing, aka one printer for a lot of people, versus offering personal printers. The maximum you should have is one printer for every 10 people, but the fewer printers, the better. Print something by accident? Don't worry. Use the back as scratch paper and make sure to recycle when done. When electronics are broken or outdated, don't just throw them away. See if you can donate them to a local nonprofit or, at a minimum, recycle them. For example, in Portland, we have Free Geek, a nonprofit that accepts pretty much all old office electronics such as TVs, laptops, tablets, and all of the accessories that go with them. They refurbish this equipment and then give it back to the community at little to no cost. Want to make a bigger impact? Set up a collection program for your employees to bring in their old electronics. If your office has a kitchen, offer reusable dishware and utensils instead of paper or plastic alternatives to reduce waste. You can also encourage employees to bring in reusable containers from home by having refrigerator or microwave access. When hosting team meals, be sure to find caterers that are using sustainable practices. Where is their food coming from? What kind of dishware do they use? What happens to food waste at the end? These are all things to consider. Thanks for listening. If you have other tips on how to reduce waste in the office and green your team, leave them in the comments below. Before I leave you, have a fun sustainability fact. Did you know that recycling one aluminum can saves enough energy to power a TV for 3 hours? Think on that. Stay groovy.